Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching Battlestar Galactica. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching episode 14 of season 2 of Battlestar Galactica. The last episode was a lot. President Rosalind no longer has cancer because of a Cylon baby that she wanted dead. I was very conflicted about how I felt about her in that episode because I understand the want and the desire and the fear of not only just the Cylons, but then a Cylon hybrid that you don't understand. And Doc Coddle didn't have all the information. He just was saying there's abnormalities, and it's not even that there's abnormalities. It's just there's certain things that just don't exist in its blood. And those things that don't exist actually helped President Rosalind get rid of her cancer. Now, I don't want the baby utilized that way. I don't want everybody that's in the fleet that has cancer to be like, oh, I want the Cylon baby to help me. But what I do think is that you have to kind of look at them a little differently, because if our DNA is compatible to make a baby, and our DNA is compatible enough that it can help heal some of the sick and fix kind of the things that are weak in our systems and our bodies. Not that I'm saying that we need to mix them all right away, but see what happens with this baby. See what it looks like when it's born. See how it behaves. Is it capable of empathy? Or is it, hooked into someone's programming somewhere? This baby could be the answer to peace. It also is really terrifying because you don't know. You don't know. But I'm more of a person that maybe I'm somebody who would be dead because I would be, waiting too long. But I'm definitely a wait and see person rather than act now, ask questions later, beg for forgiveness. I'm not that person. So Rosalind being like, we need to kill the baby. And Adama being like, we're going to kill the baby. And Hilo being like, whoa, that is my child. What are you thinking? And Gaius kind of being in the middle of he doesn't want to be responsible again for the destruction of mankind, but he definitely sympathizes with the Cylons, especially the 6 that is over on Cloud 9. And I was going to call her Pegasix, and I'm going to scratch that. I think if she hadn't been through the trauma that she was through on Pegasus, then it'd be a fun nickname. If she was just a Terminator that was over there, I'd be like Pegasix. But the fact that the reason why she has that name is because she was on Pegasus and she had the trauma that she did. I don't really feel comfortable with it. So I'm just going to call her, Cloud 9-6 from now on. What happened to her does not excuse her future actions. So you are allowed to feel sympathy for her for what she went through. And always know that might be her drive, and that might build her rage, and that is a monster that they created. Now, the fact that she was killing people on Pegasus, that she was, enacting a Cylon plan on Pegasus. You also have to remember that but no one deserves really to be tortured in that way. And we were getting probably torture light rather than what it would actually look like, because everyone remembers the pictures from Abu Ghraib. So, I can have sympathy for what she went through, but if that didn't change her to become a better person, if it's continuing to make her hate the humans or want destruction against the humans, that I can't really stand for. But I do love the way Trisha is playing her. God, Trisha's just so amazing. How somebody could just go from a model to that level of actress. It's just awesome. And I'm not saying models don't have acting ability. I'm just saying that it's not like she came up as an actor and then, she had all of this practice building all of this, and then boom, that's the result, that's a Marion McDonald who has been acting consistently her whole life. And that's why we get the performance that we do. And then, Trisha just being like, boom, you know what? Go ahead and play these 10 different iterations of the exact same character, but make it different. Bravo. I know I rave about her almost every episode, but I just have to keep throwing it out there that just what an inspiration. What an inspiration. She was given a little bit to work with, and she just took it as far as she could. I'm loving her performances. Now, I didn't realize at the end, and not that like somebody was rude about it, but maybe they were a little harsh and maybe I was a little sensitive about it. But I didn't realize that like the nuclear device that Gaius gave her was a weapon necessarily. And don't come after me if I keep saying nuclear wrong. Nuclear, whatever. Brendan Fraser did a whole thing about how people say certain words wrong. So I'm not the only one who says it that way. I'm just the only one that continually says it on the internet and can't seem to fix it. But I didn't realize that that was a weapon. Or I don't know if I'm supposed to know that it was a weapon. I didn't really know. Like, I don't know. It could power a ship. It could, be I don't know, a satellite dish that can send signals farther. It could help us find Earth. I don't know. But like, my first thing wasn't like, oh, she's a terrorist and that's a weapon. And Gaius just helped her with that. I don't know. And my head doesn't really go there either. I don't always go into situations thinking people are innately bad. I always think that they're like doing things for the better or for good, and they might be in their mind. But I don't think giving her a weapon with the rage that she could still possibly hold towards humans, I don't think that was a great idea. So kind of a little bit of a disappointment on Gaius there. Very disappointed in the president. I don't know if her new breath of life is going to give us good things or if it's going to empower her and make her think differently and behave differently. I'm not sure. I feel like when you know the end is coming, you try to do the best that you can with the time that you have left. And knowing that she has like this whole, reset, I don't know. And the fact that she's been very quick to be like, oh, we have to kill Admiral Kane. We have to kill the baby. It's like, do you remember the Olympic carrier and what a hard choice that was for you? Like, slow your roll, Prez. But I'm loving the performances that we're getting from Mary and from Eddie. They're just fantastic. Now, I don't know. I feel like now that like cancer storyline is done, that we're going to enter a different storyline. But people have said that this next episode, that it is considered filler. I'm not going into it with that mindset. I'm going to just look at it for what it is and take it for what it's worth. But I have been kind of informed on that repeatedly. So I'm actually looking forward to it because I'm like, what do you guys consider filler in BSG? Because I feel like there's always certain things that are sprinkled throughout. And if I just kind of shrug it off as like, oh, this is a nothing episode, then I'm going to miss something important. So I'm not going to do that. And to answer some questions, I will be watching Razor, but I will be watching everything in release order. I want to watch it the way you guys watched it. And I know sometimes that doesn't make sense necessarily chronologically, but I want the same experience you guys had. I would never watch the MCU movies in chronological order. I would always watch them in release order. I actually was very disappointed in my boss because he was showing his son Star Wars and started him on episode 1. Here we are. So release order, I think, is always the best because, you could fill in blanks in other stories. And I feel like it's going to be best for me viewing overall. So just to settle that for everybody, Razor will happen when it happened in release order, which I think is at the end of season 3. But I'm looking forward to getting into this episode. 1, to figure out what everybody's talking about, but 2, to get this story going now that we don't have a cancer storyline and somebody who is inept as president because maybe their meds are messing with their mind or they're coming off of it and they're hallucinating. I would like to see what she is at full strength with no cancer behind her. So that'll be interesting. Actually, cancer is behind her now. You know what I mean? Anyway. Guys, let's get into it before I say more stuff that's weird.
That's just it, Kara. I didn't want to make it back alive.
That makes me sad. Whoa, starting out hot. Lee. What is going on?
don't like me.
He isn't. I agree. I don't know what that guy's like, but I'm guessing nothing like Lee.
Hey, don't go.
Oh.
Sorry. I thought you were still asleep.
Had a good time, eh, Lee? Good for him. Get it in, boy. Get it in.
Oh, no. Gentlemen, please, don't get up. After the last few weeks, it just feels good to be on my feet. Thank you, though.
I'm glad Fisk is in these meetings.
Well, they wouldn't be civilians if they didn't have something to bitch about.
Well, I think that in this case, they're entitled. People are reporting shortages of essential goods, and what they do get comes at a high price.
Oh,
They're turning
black
to the
market.
black
Okay,
market.
I get it now. Yep.
Admiral, if you want Pegasus to run these dogs down, you just give us the word.
He's ready. Damn. Itchy trigger finger. No, thank you. Struggling with Fisk here.
And by the way, did you get the cigars I had sent over?
I know Sammy got them. I enjoyed them as well.
Oh,
good.
my pleasure, Mr. Vice President. Well, I've got a ship to run. Look forward to our next visit.
As do I.
I guess better than drinking with Ty. Guy seems heavy. Lee seems heavy. He's going through it. Was that his lady? She was really pretty.
Paya,
Hey, sweetie.
you seem to get an inch taller every time I see you.
Oh.
I have a special surprise for you. You want to come see?
Oh, this is so cute. Lee needs to be a dad. I think he'd be a great dad. Oh, God, she's missing an eye.
I've never been great with kids.
You are great with kids.
Maybe next time I'll get one with 2 eyes.
That's probably better, yeah.
See if I can trade it for something else.
No, it's okay. You just surprised her.
Just put an eye patch on it. Be fine. It's a little pirate doll.
I'm gonna have to ask for an extra 100 since you spent the night.
Oh. Not a relationship. Damn. Poor little thing. Girl's gotta make money, though. I love being on Pegasus. Not that, like, new ships are better, but I do like it. What was that?
Well, I wondered when you were going to show up.
Well, I didn't want Fisk dead! Oh my god. Holy crap. But he seemed to know that guy, so he's been involved with him. Why don't you have your helmet on, dude?
You are cleared into the break.
Yeah. Got some trauma there, boy. Oh my gosh. He's such a great face actor. I really wanted to reach to the screen and give him a hug. He looked like he needed one. Doc, you can't smoke.
Admiral, Colonel, I'm just getting started, but
Oh,
from the looks of him, I'd say he was garroted.
God, this is the last thing we needed.
with a cigarette, Doc? Really?
You might want to take a look at this.
Ooh, he came with a message.
Find anything else, let me know right away.
If I find anything else, I may retire early.
Especially depending on where you find it.
Don't you think it would be better if someone from Pegasus dealt with this?
Even though Kane's gone, her influence lingers. I need someone I can trust.
Yeah. Lee's not out of sorts, though.
I need your help.
I'll call up a flight to Pegasus right away.
When we know Lee finds him, does he shoot him? That's the question. I don't want him to. There's Briggs for a reason. Both captains, Admiral/Captain, have died in that room. It's cursed at this point, as far as I'm concerned. Who's the new commander of the ship? Send Ty over there. Ellen would be happy about that. E.T. Ellen Ty?
Captain Adama.
With such disdain.
Commander Fisk didn't tell me you were invited.
Let him in.
He doesn't know about Fisk.
Isn't this your brand?
Careful, guys. You bought yourself some goodwill by saving Rosalind, but it's fading. Their old suspicions are reemerging.
Yep.
Doing here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Yeah, what are you here to meet Fisk about, Gaius?
Are you interrogating me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure I appreciate your tone.
Ooh.
This isn't a diplomatic exercise. A man was butchered.
Gaius got some balls. Okay.
And as the vice president, I decided to assuage his doubts. Is that sufficient?
Wow.
Or would you like me to provide you with an alibi?
I actually like this Gaius.
Enjoy the cigars.
I love quirky, weird Gaius, but like Gaius actually being confident in himself, that's horrible for everybody else, but I like the acting.
I also found a small warehouse of high-value merchandise in his quarters.
So
working
he
on
was
a black
behind
market.
it. Yeah.
Have you seen all the new working girls outside? Lee, when your baby's crying because it's hungry, he'll do anything to make it stop.
Yep.
Come here.
No shame in taking care of yourself and your kids.
Is this hers?
Yeah. She lost it a couple of weeks ago. Where the hell did you
Or
find
she
it?
traded it.
Pegasus.
She didn't give it to Fisk. I did.
Oh.
I traded it for a few necessities, a couple of things to help her get by. Big fracking deal. I haven't done anything that most people on this ship haven't done, including you.
Probably true. Seems like he's paying for a service, though. I'm just saying. I could see Ty trying to, like, keep Ellen happy, any old way that he could. Here's your grapes. Here's your liquor. Just be happy.
You didn't make it to class today.
Yeah, I've been pretty jammed up. Anyway, I'm not sure you need me holding your hand anymore.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, rough.
Holding my hand?
I meant it as a compliment.
Didn't feel like it.
Is this going somewhere?
D.
Please don't pretend like you don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm just not sure what you want me to say.
The truth, maybe?
Then don't say anything.
Oh, he's so broken.
Siobhan, it's me. Siobhan?
Whoa, what happened here?
What are you gonna tell them about us?
I'm not fooling myself. I know what this is.
That's good. Oh, shit. Oh, poor Paya. Siobhan, do something, for the love of God.
I know whose son you are, and I don't care. You tell Adama to let it go.
Oh my God. Holy crap. First of all, that guy's scary. Second of all, my neck hurt.
If ever you knew that you loved her.
I thought so.
Oh, was she pregnant?
Thank you for coming, Doctor. Have a seat.
A talk about him in 6.
I'm never quite sure where we stand with each other, Doctor.
Very point blank. I love it.
You saved my life, and I'm grateful.
But
I sense that there is some unease in you about assuming the presidency, and I'd like to offer you an out.
Oh.
I never wanted to be the vice president until this very moment. Because right now, I can't think of anything I want more.
She didn't bring up 6.
Councilman Zarek.
Lee.
Never too
Just
far.
heard. Are you all right? Talk to me about the black market.
Yeah. He knows a lot about it, I'm sure.
He made 3 runs to Astral Queen in the last 10 days, and I doubt it was to discuss prison reform.
Uh-huh.
What do you want from me, Captain?
The truth.
So you're trying to tell me that you turned him down?
At great cost.
Oh, yeah?
Checked fleet logs. See how many supply ships made stops at the Astral Queen after Fisk's last trip? The answer is none.
Good for you, Zarek.
They gave you Fisk's killer for a reason.
To stop the investigation.
They're offering you a way out. There's a freighter, Prometheus. The deals are brokered by an ex-military mercenary named Phelan.
Which is probably that guy.
I hope she's worth it.
First of all, it's 2 people involved, and it's not about her necessarily. Jeez. I just say that I kind of dig Zarek as a character. He's not like my favorite person in the fleet, but like I like his character. Ooh. Does Lee have commitment issues? Because of Dee and now her, and obviously, you know, you can't marry a whore. I hate that term. Sex worker, lady of the night. Maybe they could have like a standard of practice for trade. Instead of just trying to control it, they just say, hey, if you don't go by these guidelines when it comes to gouging people or unfair trades or things that are dangerous to other people, like maybe they could just say, if you don't meet these guidelines, you'll be punished. That way they don't stop the trade, but it's just safer.
It's Lee.
Oh.
It's Lee. You're gonna be fine. I'll be right back.
This is horrible. Just imprisoning children? Oh. I like the way they're filming this guy. I like the lighting in this whole scene, too.
I can see why you want her back. She's one of my best.
Whoa.
One of yours.
Was she giving
A
information?
good escort understands about a lot more than sex.
Yeah.
She knows when to listen.
Lee, I had to.
Don't blame her. It was in real life because I was able to see you through Chevron's eyes.
And what about those children outside?
Yeah.
Everyone has needs. Some settle for cigars and liquor. Others are more demanding. It's hard to find the moral high ground when we're all standing in the mud.
Is it? Is it? The bar is incredibly low for this man when it comes to morals.
I want Siobhan, the girl, and you shut down this operation. And all of you will live.
Sorry, the little girl's been paid for. No refunds.
Oh, God. No.
Well, you get involved in that life, I guess. You get involved with those people. Oh my God. I know it's not the point, but did you see that jawline with that lighting?
Yeah, you're probably right about everything. There's lines you can't cross, and you've crossed them.
Uh-huh.
You're not gonna shoot. You're not like me.
Lee, what are you gonna do?
You're not gonna shoot.
Oh! Holy shit, Lee. Maybe I should say holy shit. Wow.
Fleet relies on the black market. Much as we'd like, we can't wish that away.
Right. That's what I was saying.
So you're still in business. If you ever touch a child,
Yeah. Wow. I have goosebumps all over.
I can't be what you want me to be.
No.
I don't want you to be anything.
You want me to be her. She wanted to give you a child. But you were afraid. So you pushed her away.
Yep.
And Paya is not and will never be your child.
But she could have said thank you. Just saying. She's not wrong.
At least this way, I know names, I know faces, I know where they are, and we will monitor the situation.
That's what I'm saying. I always agree with Lee. Well, guess who's in charge now? Lee did the dirty work.
I'm starting to sweat here. 19.
Oh,
You should be sweating.
20.
Why aren't you doing any of these?
No cheating. All the way up. A little higher.
Oh. Lee, you missed out.
Ever since you ejected from the Blackbird, you've been different. Harder to reach.
Well, like you said, Dad, we've all been through a lot.
Fair enough. But you should have told me about the woman.
Okay, I mean, don't jump on me, but I kind of liked that episode. Sometimes I think that this show gets really heavy on a lot of traumas, and in the past, like 4 or 5 episodes, very, very heavy, and like it's still heavy with like Lee's trauma and obviously the after effects of President Rosalind's cancer being cured. We're seeing, still residual of things that has happened. But I really liked this episode because it kind of dealt more with the fleet and human problems, not necessarily Cylon ones. And Lee having to let go of somebody who I'm guessing she was pregnant. That makes my opinion of Lee change a little bit, because I always thought that he'd be a very honorable man, and I don't know the circumstances necessarily, but it seems like he'd be the guy that would want to handle that situation correctly. And I don't think that, like, when we're talking about the black market, that, he's standing on a moral high ground. I think that the bar is very low where Phelan was having it. And it was almost in the ground. It was so low that you're willing to trade young girls because people have needs. I'll never look down on sex workers ever. Ever. So like I totally get Siobhan. I get the service she was providing. You have to do whatever you can to, one, survive and provide for your children. And apparently it is legal, so at least there's that. But I would never look down on her for that. But there is a line that you do not cross. And children, I think we're all going to say yes. That is definitely a line you don't cross. So seeing Lee, shoot and kill Phelan, it's not like I'm like sad. I'm more worried about what that does to Lee to physically take somebody's life. Not necessarily about Phelan, because I don't really care. The scourge gone by. It doesn't help that Zarek can now move into that spot to where I think at least Zarek has some morals, that there's lines that he won't cross. And he didn't, that's why the Astral Queen wasn't getting supplies, is because he wasn't willing to cross certain lines. And like what I was saying, when Lee got over to the Prometheus, I was like, there's always going to be a trade, a black market trade, as long as people aren't getting price gouged or they're withholding things, or, they are making unfair trades of like, well, if you want to save your daughter's life, then we're going to do this. And it's like, we're going to take your daughter when she's healthy and we're going to put her into service. Ugh. Stuff like that. Like, that is despicable. That is unforgivable. That is gross. That is unforgivable. It can't, right? So it's not having a moral high ground whatsoever. It's having a moral standard that is higher than the ground. That's it. And I think that, where Rosalind is kind of like wanting to really squeeze a little too tight, you have to loosen your grip a little bit, because it's either going to happen behind your back in an unsafe manner, or it's going to happen where you can keep an eye on it at least, and more people are safe. People aren't getting pneumonia, or people aren't getting tainted drugs, or they're not being asked to do things that are particularly uncomfortable, or, having stuff withheld from them just because they can't give what the people are asking, and I like the deal that Lee made. I really do. And it's funny because when he said the whole thing, when he's back on the Astral Queen in the first season, and he's saying like, we're going to have elections, we're going to do this, I always agree with Lee. And like, there's like sometimes where I'm just like, you're driving me crazy, kid. And then there's other times where I'm just like, yes, that's exactly where my mind went. So, I mean, and I don't think I could fix any of this shit. Like, let's just put that out there. It's easy for me to say. I have no idea how to enact it. Certainly thought we'd have Fisk for a lot longer. Well, I don't know who's in charge of Pegasus, and the fact that they've lost both of their captains in the past 2 weeks, and it just happens to be when they rejoin the fleet, or as they would say, when the fleet joined them. That still kind of grinds my gears a little bit, but like they're going through it. Ty being actively involved in black market trade. I'm not surprised, and really to keep Ellen happy. Sometimes you gotta trade. You gotta get your hands a little dirty in order to keep wifey happy, because she's a crazy psychopath. Now, Gaius, I will tell you, James Callis in this episode, you're kind of seeing him be a little bit more confident, a little bit more sure of himself, a little bit more direct, kind of like, instead of being like the twitchy little guy that's kind of like, oh, I don't know what to say, and I've got 6 over here, and I got this, and I got that, twitch, 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 twitch. He's kind of like take a step forward and say what he wants to say directly into someone's eyes. And I dig that. Man, James Callis, he's fantastic. He's fantastic. And I don't love this iteration of Gaius necessarily, but I do love that he's kind of more confident, even like talking to the president and saying like, I never wanted to be the vice president, but now it's the one thing that I want the most. And I don't know if that's necessarily just to be like, because you don't want me to have it, now I want it more than ever. To kind of just be like, I'm not resigning no matter what. And she was giving him an out, because I think, she plays a long game most of the time. Like, she's like, I'm going to go in this direction and see if we can get him at least to make this decision. And if he doesn't, well, I think that story is going to keep evolving, because she has those memories. I do like that she does not beat around the bush, that she's just like, so things have just never been quite right between us. And he's just like, goo? Like, what? Okay. And I love how direct she is. Again, I don't really ever like wholeheartedly agree with one character one way or the other. Maybe Chief, like, cause I'm just in love with that guy. But like, I have things with the Commander Adama does, Admiral Adama now. I have things that I don't like that the president does. I like Zarek, but I have problems with things that he does. Ty. I have an issue with the majority of things that he says and does, but I dig his loyalty. So there's like always those things that like, there's not one perfect person on this show. And I don't even want to say that Chief is perfect, but he's like the one that I'm like, I have the most like forgiveness in my heart for. If he were to do something bad, I'd be like, well, he's been through a lot. So, but we didn't get anything on Boomer other than the baby helping save Rosalind's life. No Hilo, no Starbuck. It was very much a Lee episode, and I think we needed an explanation after what happened when he ejected from the Blackbird. Now, I really wondered, like, what happened to the Blackbird? Like, were they able to recover that wreckage and fix it? Because that was an awesome ship. It didn't make it very long. If it's gone, that sucks. But people are telling me that Pegasus can make Vipers, that they can manufacture them. We need that ship. And then I don't know who's going to be in control of Pegasus now. And that's why I was like, send Ty over there. Like, Not necessarily get rid of Ty. Like, as a character, I appreciate him, but, Ellen would be much happier on that ship, I think. Bye. And I don't know who promotes. If they just, as a ship, decide that. I don't know if Admiral Adama, I keep doing that. I don't know if Admiral Adama makes that decision or not. Or if Rosalind does. I don't know. What I do, kind of every time I think this, and there's always a situation like the black market or whatever, even the way that Admiral Kane was running everything, the old way of doing things when the 13 colonies were still a thing, when Caprica was still a thing, when there were billions of people, you can't really run things that way in a space fleet. You have to evolve and you have to come up with new ways and think more community rather than this is going to run all of that. They have to change their line of thinking. And that kind of starts a little bit with maybe the president isn't as powerful as they need to be or should be. Admiral Kane shouldn't have had the authority that she did over the entire fleet that she had just joined. Commander Adama, he's kind of the same, not that he's I'm in control of the fleet, but I feel like his way of thinking is it was really stringent and it was really this is the way that this needs to happen. And I think he's evolved a little bit. And then there's Lee, who definitely is living both of those worlds of military and old school and progressive and new age. And there has to be a meeting place in the middle because you can't run things the way you used to, nor should you. There's a reason why everything went to shit. Just saying. And Lee, Dee obviously is still with Billy, and I know that she was probably not really waiting to see what Lee was going to do, but she felt like something was happening there, and I'm glad she addressed it because, if you are having feelings for two people, please, nip that in the butt right now. Don't just keep waiting for maybe the one that you want over the other to finally say that they want to be with you. Obviously Lee has commitment issues. Obviously he is scared of something, and that's really sad. Now I wonder if that woman is still alive. I don't think we got a name, but I wonder if she's still alive on Caprica. I wonder if she has his baby and if we'll see her in the future. Maybe she'll meet up with Anders, and then when Lee and Starbuck walk off a ship, there's Anders and Lee's lady, and they're both super happy to see them, and they run towards each other and embrace, and then credits. I don't know. But guys, if you want to watch the full-length reaction to this episode, it will be available on my Patreon and up to 2 episodes early. But in the meantime, subscribe. Leave a comment down below. What did you think about this episode? Because a lot of people said it was filler. I don't think it was filler. I don't think so. I mean, it's not part of the main storyline about the Cylons. But definitely, you see Rosalind as a different type of president. You see Gaius as a different type of vice president. You see Lee being Lee, but in a different traumatized way, and you get his character built up a little bit more. I think we've cut the D storyline a little bit. But I liked this episode. It's not my favorite, but I didn't hate it. So I wonder what you guys thought about it. And do you agree about the black market? Are you more on Rosalind's side, or are you more kind of where Lee is, where it's kind of in the middle? I don't think total anarchy and chaos is the best idea. I think a little bit of regulation is always good. And I think it just really sets expectations that it's hey, be a good human, be safe. Don't be an asshole. That's the gist of it. Help people thrive. Don't hurt people. That's all I'm saying. But guys, I'm looking forward to the next episode because I'm really still curious about that weapon or device that Gaius gave Six. I was going to call, because she's on Cloud 9, I was going to call her 6 Cloud 9, but then 69. It always comes back to something that it just is inappropriate. I'll call her Cloud 6. Yeah, Cloud 6. Maybe. I don't know. Somebody said her name is Gina, but I haven't seen it in the captions, so I don't necessarily want to say that. I don't know if that's correct or right yet. So, yeah. But come back here for the next episode, and in the meantime, guys, I'll see ya. It sounded like I just said in the meantime, Gaius, I'll see ya. Maybe. All right. Bye.